Hi, my name is Sierra Negron, and I work on the communications team here at SUNY Optometry. And since we have an eclipse upcoming on April 8th, we wanted to sit down with an expert to learn more.
Hi, I'm Nicole Putnam. I'm an associate professor of biological and vision sciences here at SUNY Optometry, and I teach optics, which is the science of light, and my research focus is on imaging of the eye, of the back of the eye, the retina, which is one of the things that can get damaged in the upcoming eclipse. So I would be happy to talk to you about all the things you need to do to keep your eyes safe.
So my first question for you, Dr. Putnam, is what does a solar eclipse do to the eyes that makes it so harmful?
Yeah, your whole life you've been told not to look at the sun. The sun sets out a lot of light. And so during a solar eclipse, this is a really interesting thing. The moon comes in front of the sun and we want to look at it. And so this is one of the cases where we really want to look at the sun, but even when it's blocked about 90%, which is the most that it will be blocked here in New York City, it can still do permanent damage to the back of the eye, your retina, in a matter of seconds. And so you really need to make sure that you're wearing protective eyewear for looking at this at any time.
So if you're not in the direct path of complete totality, do you still need to wear protective eyewear?
Absolutely. So if you're not in the path of totality, it's probably even more important that you wear protective eyewear. Before and after totality, if you are in the path of totality, you absolutely need to be wearing your protective eyewear. So this is an example of protective eyewear, and we can talk more about where to get it. But the International Organization for Standardization has put out a standard to figure out what is necessary to block like a lot of light.
So what are the best places to secure this protective eyewear?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is to look for this ISO, the International Organization for Standardization 12312-2. So lots of places online are going to sell them. Rainbow Symphony, American Paper Optics are a couple of them. But as long as it's rated by the ISO, that's gonna work. A lot of libraries, there's special events going around a lot of cities where they'll be giving out special eyewear that you can buy tickets to go to events and you'll get this eyewear. So just take a look for this ISO and make sure that it has that on there.
What items or methods do not work for viewing a solar eclipse?
Yeah, I can't say it enough. Don't look directly at the sun. So don't look directly at the eclipse. Even again, when it is 90% covered, the only time that you can take these glasses off is during totality if you're in that path. So that would only be up to maybe 3.5 minutes total. Would it be safe to look at the corona during the phase of totality? Every other time, you really want to use pinhole imaging, a projector, or look at the shadows, or be wearing your protective eyewear. Another thing to be really careful of is if you're trying to take a picture or if you're going to be using binoculars or telescopes, do extra research in advance because you again need special filters for those devices in order to properly take pictures. Or if you're making things bigger, that actually can cause more damage. And so you want to make sure that you put filters on any devices that you would use because we really just don't want to damage our eyes.
And my last and final fun question is when and where did you view your first solar eclipse and what was memorable about it?
Yeah, I remember seeing my first eclipse as a kid. It wasn't a huge memory. I remember going outside with my parents and having glasses like this and being like, this is a weird thing. And so I was also in Syracuse, New York, and it was a little cloudy probably, so it wasn't probably the most impressive. In San Francisco in 2017, there was a partial eclipse that was close to what we're going to see here in New York City. The shadows were really cool leading up to kind of the 90%, and I have some really cool pictures, and that was probably the most memorable, and I can't wait for this one on April 8th.
Thank you, Dr. Putnam, for teaching us how to safely enjoy this upcoming eclipse.
You're welcome.